My family, and welcome to your little private viewing pleasure of Rion and
Isabella Greene.
We are here to explain some of the different things that are happening in the ninth wave. The beginning, or I should say the 64th day of the Mayan calendar, and the ninth wave is at hand. Many of the things that we do in dream time, many of the things we do awake, constant manifestation based upon our thought process. Similar to the way you are what you eat, that little famous saying that they have, well, you also are what you think. Yeah. Okay? You also are what you feel.
Exactly.
Okay? So, in understanding the importance of controlling your mind, step one, understand that all of your thoughts manifest. The speed of which they manifest is based upon your focus, based upon your need, based upon your want to excel, grow, and accelerate through these times, these transitions, and truly step into your power, right, here on Earth. My sister would like to share some of her insights on timeline jumping, and we will go back and forth until we get a much grandiose picture of exactly what we're talking about. Sister.
Thank you. Timeline jumping is happening all over, from the planets, the galaxies, the human beings, the beings. We are constantly shifting, and very often this is not noticeable, but sometimes it's noticeable indeed. Timeline jumps could be facilitated, that could be manifest. Of course, human beings has always got everything backwards.
Yes.
Because it's not exactly that way. It does not show into your life. You're the one who gets pulled by your focus, like Rion said,
yes,
your attention and your frequency onto the timeline where these things exist, because everything exists in the field of the infinite potential.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are the timelines? Timelines are just flows of energy. And in case of karmic timelines, these are just energetic entanglements with the past.
Yes.
In cases of manifesting, what we call manifesting, or really literally pulling yourselves on timelines where things exist, things that you want exist, once your frequency matches that, you can actually experience that in your physical reality. There are different techniques to do that. I've been practicing that. Sometimes it works better than other times. It really depends on where you are, where your frequency is. It really depends on how strong your intent is. And it also depends on many other factors on how focused you are on the idea of moving yourself from your present timeline onto the timeline that's right next to you, because they're all happening all at the same time right next to you. Where you are is where your focus is.
100%. The main focus too is, what are you willing to give up to make this jump? People always seem to me energetically, and as the Agarthans also say, human beings, for the majority of us on Earth, are children, energetically, spiritually, and experience-wise. You're a child. Agartha, the average lifespan is around 300 years old. You're not even considered an adult until you're 75 years old. That's inner Earth. It's about 4 miles straight down from where I am right now. So if you guys go to Mount Shasta, you guys go to the doorway that's been sealed up since 1972, 1975. That goes on down about a mile or two, down into Telos. Again, Agartha, Inner Earth Network, Agartha has a function of experience and understanding in this particular physical realm. Understanding that the experience needed and attained is addressed simply through your experience. Doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. Okay? Same with that famous quote that goes that you cannot solve today's or this Earth's problems today with the same consciousness that created it. In that same manner, you must address your own inner belief systems on, are they serving you? One of the main things when you go to the grocery store and you go shopping for yourself, what foods here are actually going to serve me and create a more healthy, beneficial effect on my suit? What nutrients, what compounds, what fruits, vegetables, proteins are going to suit and assist me in my vessel, in my growth? Well, if you thought about consciousness in the same way, you'd have a much better understanding of what you should be watching, listening to, paying attention to. Many of the things in this place are set up for distraction. That is part of the mind trap. Okay, that's how this game was set up. So we're not trying to particularly address the different characters in this specific game. However, we will address how the game is played and how the game and how it's been set up, and how to make proper moves in your life, like playing chess, not waiting for an event to happen, not waiting for this certain thing to fall apart in your life, not waiting for this, oh, this is going to come to me one day. It's every single day, your consistency of working towards your goals. That's what wins out in this life. Because an entire lifetime of every day you accomplishing something, do you know how many amazing things you can accomplish? Do one positive thing every single day of this incarnation to serve you, your health, your well-being, what that may be. And in turn, help others around you, right, giving back, find the same truth within themselves. This isn't a specific story or a function. These timelines are literally merging. The Mandela effect is fact. Luke, I am your father, is the dimension I am from. Mirror, mirror on the wall is from the dimension I am from. And we are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. Banana. At the end of that song goes, and we are the champions of the world. That's the dimension I come from. Many of you guys who have partners sitting next to you watching this video, if they remember this reality as magic mirror on the wall, that's not the person that you actually think it is. Yep. That's a version of them that made this jump of to a higher frequency with you. The version that you might remember might not be in that seat next to you. That's how consciousness works. Did you really think in the Ascension game there'd be 500 million people that disappear off the face of the earth? No. They disappeared right in front of your eyes. You just don't realize it yet. Yep. The consciousness has already changed. The version of your partner, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your child may be different consciously than what you remember them growing up to be. In that same way, as you grow and you understand how the vibration of the universe is coursing through this sphere, understand the more grandiose and grander experiment which is going on, and in that moment, and in that strength, and in that love, understand that your highest potential is what is being asked. Not C's get degrees, if you guys ever been to college. I'm talking about who are the ones that get 98, 99% correct on every single test. Well, these are the types of people, you know who they are, who work day in, day out to improve themselves. I like to call this little rip we have with my sister here the Teacher's Lounge. We are here to assist you. We have awakened these aspects in our DNA and remembered who we used to be in past lives. As we sit here in the present moment speaking to you, we're simply trying to remind you of who you truly are. I'm not teaching you how to ride a bike. I'm saying, brother, sister, remember how to ride that bike. That's the difference. And in this quantum field generation of different frequencies merging together, the highest intent is what the goal is for all beings to strive for. Not what is the osmosis of the consciousness around you in your large cities, or what's on TV, or what's this fear programming. This, as you will see, is something we will leave in the lower dimensions to be forgotten about. Your focus now in the present moment is get to a place of peace, serenity. Can you be your inner child at least once a day? Are you having good dreams? Are you remembering your dreams? Are you watching your tone when you speak to people? Are you seeing the familiarities in people's eyes rather than the differences? Are you working towards unity in this ninth wave or separation? These are the functions which are going to dictate these next steps, which are coming very, very quickly down, towards us and humanity right now. We are here as your guides to remind you to stay in your heart, stay in your clarity, and understand your DNA is evolving as we speak. The process of that, and I call it the kind of like, how much it's going to wiggle or shake inside of you, right? How much you're going to have to process and purge. That is completely up to you. in what you're willing to let go of. What are you willing to release? Are you willing to release the old version of yourself that used to believe this stuff? Are you willing to embrace the new version of you which has no limitations? This is not a dogma or a religious function. This is what is the best version of you that you could possibly be in this incarnation, and run with that. Okay?
This is the law
Yes.
that we are now starting to discover.
Yes.
We've been looking at all of the symptoms all around, calling it law of attraction, calling it manifestation, calling it co-creation. But this is what we're talking about, this timeline jumping, is the law. And how does the planet emerge? How does the planet ascend? Through these things that Rion just talked about. When enough people, this is why it's so important for us to be in this co-creative mode, because when enough people have the same state of being that and maintain their high frequency, it allows the vision to come to us.
Yes.
I worked with a number of people for whom I was able to facilitate timeline jumps because their intention was so strong. Their desire to move out of their present reality was so strong, and combining the energies and focusing that stream of time allowed to lay out or allowed them to experience the whole new timeline. They also said that all of their relatives changed.
Yes.
All of their entire reality changed.
Yes.
The entire family and loved ones changed. Did they really change? Or did they, the person who shifted, started experiencing a different version of these same people?
Imagine hanging out with your parents. It's actually the parallel reality to this world of a higher frequency of what you wanted them to be or what their potential was. And you're walking hand in hand with that version, not this version that you're leaving behind.
How do spontaneous remissions happen? I am convinced that spontaneous remission is a timeline jump. The person has such intense desire to have a different life, to change what's going on with them, and their focus is so strong. And when they leave their body, that's in my experience, a lot of timeline jumps happen during astral projection and during out-of-body experiences.
Yes.
When the person leaves that reality and they're open towards the unknown, they know what they don't want, but they're open to receive a whole different outcome. Bam, they come back and they're healed.
Yes.
That's the spontaneous remission. That's a clear example of a timeline jump. Can I tell a couple of stories of my own, just really quickly?
100,000%, yes.
I started experimenting with this a while ago, and I didn't know what I was doing. Quite frankly, I didn't know these were timeline jumps. But if something was happening for me, for example, I'm starting to get sick, and I was sitting in meditation, and I know that this is not my story. I had such an intense, such a strong desire to not have that happen. This is not my story. And I would do the intense breathing technique, and I would just black out. But my body would black out, but my consciousness would be floating through space and having an out-of-body experience. I'll come back, and I have no symptoms. And that took 30 minutes or an hour to heal from what looked like major flu coming on, for example.
Yes.
Or the same thing with changing circumstances in your life. Something is happening in your life and you so know that this is not your reality. This is not your story. This is not what you want. So I would literally say, because we are very simple. We don't need very complicated processes. Our minds dictate and our focus dictates where we go. So I would literally sit there, visualize the situation that I don't want for a moment, don't focus on that too much, for a moment, and say, this is not my story. And I would do this breathe, and I would almost knock me unconscious, and then I'd just float, and then I'll come back, and that story would be nowhere to be found.
Literally purged the programming which has certain viruses or lower dimensional functions attached to it.
Right.
Imagine being so conscious that every single thing in your reality that bounces into your field, you resonate that with your heart and your own belief system, in that function, you scan and see which of these potentials are actually a no-no regardless of what function of reality they serve. Those do not serve us in our highest level of explanation and explosion of light. I wanted to say explosion, but the evidence is this: in your abundance, what function of reality do you wish to serve in that moment of, I don't want to be a part of that system, and you actually rewrite your code in that moment, to be that aware. Not having your higher selves do it for you, not hitting your knees and praying, please somebody come out over here that besides myself and fix my problems. Let me explain something to you guys that do this day in, day out. Your prayers are manifestation. Your prayers, when you pray, they go up to the higher selves and the angels of heaven and all of these different belief systems. Amazing. Nothing wrong with praying. I love it. It's a version of manifestation. But let me express something else to you. Do not ask God to do something that you're not willing to do for yourself. And if you're going to ask superiors or higher angelics or higher energies to do something for you, understand you have to meet the universe halfway. You want this reality to come forth? Well, put on your backpack, put on your shoes, and meet them halfway. That's something that most people need to get off the couch and understand. You want a healthier life? Get to the gym. You want a healthier body and a clearer mind? Focus on what you're eating. Take your vitamins. Are you drinking enough water today? What type of water are you drinking today? Are you still using fluoridated toothpaste? Are you still using antiperspirant aluminum deodorant? These are functions. Do you still like soda pop? How much sugar are you intaking every day? How much gluten are you intaking a day? Very simple, practical things, right? Well, if you add all of these simple, practical things up, you get the brain fog. It's not just one thing or this thing. It's all of these things which blend together to create this, I don't understand, I can't feel, this numbness. Timeline jumping also has a biological effect on the suit. One of my brothers in the house, where we work with day in, day out, he had flu-like symptoms for a week. He was here, and we were together, building pyramids in the backyard. All of a sudden, I saw his eyes I saw his energy kind of get woozy, and he was sick for a week, laying on his back. Not really sick or vomiting, but basically it was almost like his cells were resetting. This is what happens when you make a timeline jump to a biological suit. When your energy, or your inner, your energy body, or your 5D self and above, right, makes a different dimensional jump. So they jump from this reality to this reality, okay, higher. What happens is it takes time, all of a sudden, for that reality to manifest, and then it, boom, boom, boom. By the time it hits the biological suit, it's, boom, boom, you're literally having a physical reaction to it instead of an energetic. Okay, I'm down on my back for a week. I'm purging. All these thoughts are coming up, and I'm trying to block them. I am blocking them. There's no trying. Either do or do not. What I'm getting to is, when you make a timeline jump upstairs, the biological function of that down here is clearing, purging, dark night of the soul, more integration, but it's a little different than integrating higher selves. There's timeline jumping, and then there's integrating aspects of yourself from different time and space. Timeline jumping is actually, it's like the difference between a sidewalk and talking to your higher self on the sidewalk. Here's the sidewalk, you're talking to your higher self on it. Hey, I really want to work on this, da-da-da-da. You're kind of talking there, you're working on each other's emotional bodies, working stuff out. When there's a timeline jump, it's actually like you switched sidewalks. Mm-hmm. It's a different format, a different timeline which you are now walking on. You're no longer walking on the same spatial time, you're in a different spatial time walking over here. So understand it's a little different, right? Everything's vocabulary. The issue is the vibration of the function you serve, and the probabilities and options of these new timelines are greater than the timelines we came from before. Hence, like I remember, and I'm sure Isa does too, mirror, mirror on the wall. Mm-hmm. That's the dimension we're from. If you Google it right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's recorded as magic mirror on the wall. That is not what I remember in my reality. Same with Star Wars. It was, Luke, I am your father. Not, no, I'm your father. That's how it is recorded now if you Google it. What I'm getting to is that these subtle differences are actually happening right now. We're literally living through history. You don't know you're in history while you're living through it. We're actually living through this shift right now in the present moment. Sister.
every timeline comes with a whole new set of stories.
Mm-hmm.
What Rion here is giving us, that's an example, but each personality, each personal story changes too once we have the timeline jump.
Yes.
So focusing on the old story will kind of pull you back.
It doesn't serve you. You actually, it's like hitting air brakes. It's like driving on the freeway going 90 miles an hour. All of a sudden you go, oh my God, what am I doing? And you slam on the parking brake. That's what it's like. And what is that parking brake? Doubt, fear. My mommy told me, my daddy told me, they programmed me. Their mommy and daddy programmed them. This government, this function programmed me to think this way. You guys have to remember how much programming was instilled in us when we were little children that is stored way back in your subconscious. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Okay, sixth grade, you kind of understand what's going on. Seventh grade, eighth grade, and then you're in high school. You forget there's like, well, I had 12 years of programming before I even thought I was an adult at 18. These lessons, though, are ingrained somewhere in your subconscious. Understand that the truth inside of yourself is a function of that divine blossoming function of creation itself. But you have to work it. Okay? What's the difference between a little imagine a little baby sequoia tree growing out of the ground. He just seeded, and he's about 2 inches high. When the rain pours and the wind blows, he's like, oh my God, I could die at any minute. And that little sequoia tree grows a little bigger. Okay? The wind doesn't bother him so much, but he's still like, oh, I could flood, I could burn, I could get hurt. When that sequoia tree grows about 300 feet tall and fire doesn't even disturb it anymore, it considers a hurricane-based wind is like a shower. You're like, oh yeah, get that side. Oh yeah, blow, baby, blow. What I'm trying to get to is as you grow in your consciousness and as you expand in your energy, there is no fear. You know you're a great sequoia tree. You have nothing to fear. Now you have to look down at all the other little saplings and trees and make sure they have a safe space to grow also into great sequoia trees. Sister.
And when you had just had your timeline jump, you're going to be a little bit disoriented for a moment. This is the moment and the moment following that is the time to integrate the new stories. And when I talk about when you're facilitating the timeline jump for yourself or someone else is assisting you, when you're saying this is not my story, you are clearing the entire story for that entire timeline that's linked to that present moment. And so when you come in onto the new timeline, you receive the whole brand new clean slate and the stories that you planned there through your mind, and you can also receive that information through the field and then anchor that. That can offer you the whole new future, the whole new present moments experience, the whole new reality all around you, almost instantly.
Yes.
But going back to connecting and retelling and recycling the old stories, the old state of being, that does not work. I had a really funny one when I was told that I had to pay $5,000 in taxes. And I said, there's no way. But it was clear. It was on paper. It came, and I received that quote that I have to pay $5,000 taxes. I sat in meditation, and I was so sure that was not my story. I literally I did all the breathing. I put all the intention in. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I knew that this was not happening. This was not my story. An hour later, when I came out of the meditation, I received a call from a different CPA who I also received the quote from, and they said they're going to pay me $5,000. True story.
Oh.
So, yeah, guess which story I went with? Exactly the same amount.
Yes.
An hour later, from losing it to bringing it back in. That's a very simple timeline jump.
Awesome. That's an awesome jump. Go ahead and sign me up for that one.
Right. But then also, if you are moving, if you are in the situation where you want to move through a specific karmic imprint or something, when you're saying this is not my story, remember or just feel through all of the layers of that story that link all the way to your childhood and link all the way to your ancestral or parental or karmic stuff. And then you pull in that timeline saying, none of this is my story. I'm letting go of this now. And then you bring yourself in the outer body space and you connect with the divine. You connect with that elevated high frequency, with that incredible divine energy. You drop back into your physical form. You look around and nothing looks the same. It takes a while to patch that reality back together, and it's got all the new stories. And the new stories with what you focus on. This is the process for you.
Yes, and when you guys are meditating, understand that when you're out of your body, you're energetically interacting through the different realms, dimensions, energetically, you interacting, all of you, right? That full I am presence, interacting with all dimensions simultaneously. Time is different than it is in 3D. You could have a 20-minute meditation that felt like 15 hours when you get back in your body. So what I'm trying to say is, when you guys are consciously trying to manifest, not consciously trying, when you are manifesting your new level of abundance, your goals, how you wish to help humanity, how you wish to fulfill your destiny, your purpose. The first thing out of someone's mouth is when you ask them if they are mastered or this or that, they're like, yo, bro, what's your purpose? Uno. What are you here to do? What are you here to learn? That whole timeline of all the people I always hear, I'm just here to experience what it is to be a human. Let me be honest with you. The reason and the issue with that is you're counting on someone else to step up behind you and do what you cannot by going, Jesus take the wheel.
Right.
When someone says, oh, I'm just here to experience being a 3D person, and really? Is that what you're here to do? Why don't you go talk to and take a look at all the different realities that are going on right now on this planet, and call yourself a light being when you feel what's going through the field in those territories. If you can do that and still say that, see you next incarnation. Okay? Let's just be real honest with you. See that child in the next incarnation. You're not going to make this jump. The beings that are going to make this jump are working on themselves day in, day out. The beings that are going to make this jump are expanding daily. The beings that are going to make this jump into the ninth wave are here to be true testaments of what the potential is as a human being on Earth. The maximum potential. Not, like I always say, C's get degrees. We're not looking for those. The Galactics aren't looking for those. They're looking for leaders to lead humanity into a new future. And where does that come from? Your heart. I say it with a warrior spirit, because when I hear untruths, I can't listen to it. Sounds like a bunch of jibber jabber. Sounds like a bunch of people that haven't made life experiences. When you hear that type of stuff, always resonate what fires your heart. I'm here to serve humanity. I'm here to do it with the highest intent. I'm here to serve Gaia, right? I'm here to raise the vibration of this planet. I'm here to remove the controlling factions of this planet, which only serve the few. I am here to serve the all. These simple protocols, these simple beliefs, these simple things, these universal laws, right, are what's going to save your booty after this incarnation. You're like, thank God I snapped out of that. Yo, I've been upstairs in council meetings, you guys. It's raw logic. It's not a belief system. They go, this is what you wanted to learn on this planet. This is what you chose to do. Even when you were warned 3 times, you still chose to choose this path, and you went down. See you next incarnation, son. Boom, next. There is no, we want to hear your opinion. It's raw logic. The courts of heaven operate in raw logic. It's something I can't express to you. The speed of it, it makes complete and utter sense when you hear it. You're like, son, no one told you you had to do that over and over and over again. Nowhere was it written, brother, sister, that you had to continue this belief system over and over and over again. You chose that. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I did that for 45 years. And they're like, no one told you you had to do that, son. And you just kind of sit there in the seat and you like take a moment. You're like, that whole time I could have been working on myself and I was stuck, distracted doing this. And now you're telling me I have to come back again because I didn't learn my lessons? Talk about an angelic panic attack. You guys, I'm trying to save you from it. I love you. All you guys watching this video, this is just for you. Okay? This is like, me and my sister are like, we love you. We're trying to tell you, we're dialed in. We're pulling this information down for you. We've had very dynamic lives and experiences to be able to deliver this information to you in a very straightforward way. This is not coming from a book or I heard and I heard and I heard. My higher self directly downloads these functions with me, and as I walk the planet doing activations for 6.5 years on this planet, I learned all of these ancient things, all these little things that the populace does not know about. I'm saying this to you and delivering it in a way with a smile on my face, because I love you, okay? But I'm trying to say is that I'm here for your maximum potential. We are here for your highest destiny. We are here for the greatest amount of awesomeness you can bring to your life, your family's life, your friend's life, this planet's life, as we all ascend together. My name is Rion.
And I am Isabella Greene.
It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. Many new updates coming. You guys stay tuned. For all you guys out there from SEDONA Cosmic Awakening, this little bonus feature for you. And for the stuff to come, you guys just buckle up. Please work on yourselves. Come from your heart. Even though I speak with that fire, understand it's because I love this planet. I love you guys so much. You know what I mean? We are in your corner pushing this catalyst across the planet of Earth. Blessings from SEDONA.
Eyes closed and dreams go free. Got an angel next to me.